I have here in my hands a Galen leather pen case which has 6 pens in them. And these are 6 pens that I have to review. They came in for review. I bet you would really want to know what they are. Okay, today we're going to have a look. Guess you just have to stay tuned, won't you? At this pen. This is a Faber Castell Neo, which I'm going to pronounce Neo because it's easier when I'm speaking English. This is an interesting pen. It's a very slim pen, as you can see. It was kindly lent to me by Joost Appelboom of Appelboom Pennen, and I'm going to cover the parts of the pen. I will do a writing sample. I will tell you what I like about it and what I don't like about it. So stay tuned for another exciting episode. I probably shouldn't do that again. All right, so here we go with the Faber Castell Neo, aka Neo if you so prefer, and it is the Neo Slim Matte Black to be precise. It comes in this box which has an outer sleeve, and then you have this inner box. It's a very simple unassuming box, and then you have this which just fits in there, and that's the pen. Now, this pen is a very slim pen. Let me zoom in a bit so you can see it better. And this is the pen next to a Pilot Metropolitan, so it is a bit longer, but it's also quite narrow. Okay, let me cover the parts of the pen, but before I do that, I'll talk to you a little bit about it. This pen has a wonderful description from the Faber Castell website. It has a cool, smooth feel for young professionals and trendsetters who keep pace with the times. I am none of those things. Okay, and yet I like the pen. So, it comes with different nibs, stainless steel nibs, extra fine, fine, medium, broad, so nice options, and a converter. You have this nice Faber Castell dimple on top of the cap, which they use, which I think is very nice. Here we have Faber Castell since 1761, and the jousting logo on there, which I always think is very nice. We have a spring-loaded clip, which works very well. It's not super springy, but it's maybe more, what we call that, a fulcrum. Anyway, we have a little groove there. Barrel is uniform, and then it tapers a bit. And then you have this lip there, which makes for a very comfortable posting. When you do that, you have a nicely sized pen. I can also use it unposted, and I'm holding it quite high up. If I hold it at the tiny little mini section, I would say it's definitely a nice size. So certainly is this a good size pen, although it is of course very skinny, but that was the point. It is a slimline pen. Okay, here we have this little groove that makes the cap snap into place, and we have the oddly bent nib. I first thought this nib had a little accident, but then I realized that the feed seems to be a little curved to accommodate that. I really think it's supposed to look this way. So that's something. Black coated nib here, medium, as I said, extra fine, medium, broad, extra fine, fine, medium, broad available, and it's a cartridge converter filled pen. It doesn't come with a converter, which is a shame. It does come with one blue cartridge, and it has this, excuse me, somewhat odd nipple on there. And it's metal, which is quite nice and solid. Okay, I have loaded it with the ink that came with it. Let's zoom out a little bit. Let's do some writing. I have always liked the Faber Castell nibs. I'm not going to write down matte black if you don't mind, and this is just, I'm just going to call this Faber Castell blue because it's the cartridge that came with it. The steel nibs of Faber Castell I have always found to be very pleasant. They are smooth, they are nice, and even though this one is black coated, often the coating also covers the tipping, which removes a little bit of the smoothness. In this nib, I really don't find that an issue, so that's really, really nice. Fast writing works well. Is it the world's wettest writer? No, it is not. What about line variation? As always, very careful. It's a pretty stiff nib, so I wouldn't expect much there. Writing upside down is possible. Definitely gets a bit scratchier and seems to run a little drier. Having said that, this is what we have. I think we should cover of this fun pen what I like and what I don't like about it. Let's do that next. What do I like? What do I not like about the Neo Slim? There's a couple of things I really like. It's a Faber Castell, and the Faber Castell steel nibs, in my mind, are in a class of their own. Especially the broads. The broad nibs are exceptionally smooth. This is a medium nib, also very, very smooth, and I do really like it. So writing performance, fantastic, even though it is a black nib, and often I found that those black coated nibs have a little bit more feedback than non-coated nibs, because often they coat the tipping, but in this pen it looks like the tipping is not coated. If it was, then that coating wore off already, and that happened in the span of days. So anyway, it's a smooth nib. What I also like is that it posts securely. I mean, really securely. So that's really nice, especially in a slimmer pen. It adds a bit more heft to the pen, so I really like that. I like the spring-loaded clip. Faber Castell always does a nice job with those. They work really well. Very easy to slip them into a pocket that way, take them out again without ripping and tearing anything. Well, that's really nice. Sorry, if I'm looking down, it's because I have my notes. Okay, sorry. What I personally don't like so much is the very slim profile. I'm not one for super slim pens, but that is completely subjective, so I didn't really want to mention that as a big negative. Things that are more objective that I don't like about it, I find, I guess this is sliding into objective because it's still pretty subjective, but I find this nib shape fairly odd. It definitely curves down quite strongly, and is it a big deal? Not necessarily, because again, the nib writes very well. I just aesthetically find it a little odd. More objective things, there is no converter supplied, and I find that in a pen that's 37 euros, I would expect a converter. You can buy a $5 Chinese pen, it comes with a converter, so I would find it fair to include a converter for this pen. Okay, that's pretty much what I have. There was one more thing I wanted to point out. I am pretty careful with the pens that I use, and this coating, I don't know how well I can make the camera pick it up, but right above my finger, I'll try to make it catch the light, there you go, are some scuff marks. Now this pen has not fallen, it has not, I haven't put sandpaper to it, this is simply from sliding into a pen case. I wouldn't necessarily be bothered by that. I find it adds a bit of character to a pen, but I know there are people who would be bothered by it. So I don't know how durable the coating is that is put on this metal. Having said that, it's also not a $5,000 pen, so I mean, again, I wouldn't be bothered by it, but I know that some people would be, so I wanted to point it out. There you go, there you have it, another nice pen by Faber Castell. Thank you, Joost, for lending me the pen. I appreciate it. I hope this was useful, and I'll gladly see you later.